Hello, I'm Eric, and today we're here at Sugarloaf Elementary School. We're going to meet one of our colleagues who supports our students each and every day by helping them develop problem-solving skills, caring for their social emotional well-being, and helping them develop social skills that support them and help them not just here in the school, but in our classrooms and beyond. Let's go inside and meet her. It is a beautiful day, and we are so fortunate to be here with one of our outstanding school counselors, Jessica Zambrini, here at Sugarloaf Elementary School. So we've been here since the start of the day, and we see how busy you are as soon as you walk in the door. So we really appreciate you giving us some of your time today.
Yeah, of course.
So Jessica, you're one of our elementary school counselors. Before we get into what you do for our students and their families and staff, talk a little bit about your background and your journey. What brought you to Sugarloaf Elementary School?
So I came back to Frederick County after grad school. I got my degree in pre-K to 12 school counseling at a school in Pennsylvania, and I always knew I wanted to come back to Frederick County because this is where I got my teaching degree. I really enjoyed working at FCPS and saw myself working here. So after I graduated with my school counseling degree, I decided to come back. I actually got a job as a teacher for 2 years. And when the opportunity opened up, I started applying for some counseling jobs and found myself at Sugarloaf.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So undergrad at Hood, elementary education, in special education,
Yep.
specialization, and then you went straight into your counseling degree. Wonderful. So in your background, what made you decide that early on in your professional career, you're going to do one degree right after the other and before going into teaching?
I guess I saw how important it was for staff to recognize the social emotional needs of the whole child. And I really wanted to be a part of that. Sometimes as the classroom teacher, you find out about something in a child's background and sort of pass them to the counselor or work with other staff members. And I really wanted to be one of the main supports for those students who were struggling with one thing or another.
And so as a teacher, did you find that training that you received as a counselor, did you find that working itself into what you did with our students every day?
Oh my gosh, every day, every day. It was very helpful to have training in counseling to manage behaviors, when a student was upset, to process through with them, and then they see you as a trusted adult. You didn't have to send them out of the classroom.
And we know as former teachers, our teachers are doing multiple things
gosh.
in the classroom along with instruction.
Definitely.
So we're very fortunate to have them. But then you decided to seek out a counseling opportunity. And so can you talk a little bit about what is a school counselor? What's the role? What do you all do to support our students, their families, and staff every day?
Okay. So a school counselor has lots of jobs. They wear lots of hats. We do, at the elementary level, we go into classrooms and teach lessons on different social emotional topics. We hold groups for students. That might look like an emotional regulation group, an anxiety group, or worry group. We do individual check-ins with kids, individual counseling. We support teachers. We collaborate with parents, teachers, admin, specialists, really everyone, to make sure that our children are successful at school.
So what does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day looks like me running around all over the building, usually. I might have some lessons, I might have some groups or lunch bunches, fitting in check-ins here and there, checking on kids. I do a lunch duty, I do arrival dismissal duty. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So you talked about working with small groups of students, and you also talked about going into classrooms and doing lessons with groups of students as well. So what determines whether you're going to meet with a student one-on-one or a small group of students on a specific topic?
So we, as a school, meet weekly, all of our specialists, admin, the counselors, and it's called the CARES team. So we meet weekly to talk about students. Teachers are able to refer students to our table for discussion. And usually it comes up that way based on student need and what's going on in the classroom. it could just be a pattern of behavior that we're seeing over time. If a child's having, having an especially difficult time coming in the morning, working with that student on how they can regulate themselves and get back in the building, and just being that support to change that pattern for them. So it can come up a variety of ways, but usually just based on staff, what we're seeing is what staff is feeling as a need, what we as counselors are seeing as a need, and sometimes data.
Okay, thank you. So again, it's assessing students, seeing how they're feeling as they're walking in each day, and the data that we have to show if those two things are lining up as far as determining what needs are what's needed to support our students.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned the word regulate. Now for those of us in education, we know what that means, but for those who are watching, what do we mean by that? Help them regulate themselves.
So that is essentially a student's ability to calm themselves down and get them back to like that steady state of calm. In elementary world, we call that the green zone, where you're calm, ready to learn. So we spend a lot of time talking about how we do our best learning when we're in the green zone, because we're able to focus and we're not fidgety, we're not wiggly. So giving students the tools and strategies to help them reach that green zone, whether it's deep breathing or some mindfulness strategies like that.
So, you just answered this question, but I'm going to ask it more directly. Someone says, why do we need that type of support in our schools? When students are there to learn and teachers are there to instruct and administrators are there to lead as instructional leaders, why is it important that we have conversations about social emotional well-being and regulation in schools today? Why is it important that our counselors are there doing that work?
Well, I think about when I'm having a bad day, it's hard for me to focus. If a student's having a bad day, they're not going to be able to do what they need to do here at school, same as a teacher. So teachers and students need to make sure that they have an overall sense of well-being for teachers to instruct and for the kids to learn to the best of their ability.
When you feel safe in a place,
yeah,
you're going to be able to function more effectively.
Right, exactly.
What would you like those in our community to know about counseling that they don't know, or that they may be misinformed about?
Well, I think the role of a school counselor is sometimes a little confusing for our community. The role of a school counselor is really to support students' needs at school. While that said, we also help connect families and students to resources in the community if they need a little bit of extra on their own. And certainly we work with those professionals to implement, what is best for the kids here at school. But at the elementary level, we really are just teaching kids how to problem solve and how to take care of themselves and how to regulate their emotions and how to deal with conflicts with their friends, how to talk things out. It's really those basic skills that they need to be an adult one day.
Jessica's heart for the students, staff, and community of Sugarloaf Elementary was evident in the time I spent with her. Focusing on the social emotional well-being of our students is a priority for her. I was able to take part in a deep breathing technique she uses to help students who may feel stressed or anxious. In addition to supporting every child in the school, she is part of the school's leadership team. Jessica brings a key lens to the team because she is able to have conversations with students that sometimes our teachers and administrators are not able to have. Jessica teaches lessons in classrooms, and her care for our students extends to distributing blessings in a backpack. What Jessica does on a daily basis is essential to Frederick County Public Schools. So Jessica, what do you love most about being a school counselor?
What I love most about being a school counselor is watching a child grow throughout the course of their time here in elementary school. Oftentimes by the time they're even in second or third grade, they're very different than they are in kindergarten. So being able to watch that growth and support their needs as they progress and get them ready for middle school is the best part.
It sounds like an awesome opportunity to see a 5-year-old grow up into a 10 or 11-year-old by the time that they leave.
Yeah.
And it really goes back to what you said early on in our conversation about not just wanting to be there for that year, but watching that growth over a period of time and supporting students over a period of time.
Yeah.
Well, we're fortunate to have you as part of the FCPS team. Thank you so much for your time and for everything that you do.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.
It was nice being able to spend a little bit of time today getting to learn more about what Jessica does to support our students each and every day. She, along with counselors throughout FCPS, no matter if they're in elementary, middle, or high school, do a great job of every day ensuring our students have exactly what they need to be successful. They help to develop and create a space where our students feel valued, safe, and included. And it helps them to be able to perform well academically and in their extracurricular pursuits. Our counselors are supporting our students not just now, but giving them those skills that they need to be successful in the future. And we are so thankful that they're part of the FCPS team. Well, until next time, everyone, please continue to take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be well, everyone. Bye.